I was about to say one, and then my brain got distracted by another game, and then my brain got distracted by another game, and then another game. Like, what's so cool about vampire vigilantes? Well, you answered your own question. So moving forward.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse, and Ep16.
Hello, my name is Itisdpayne, and I didn't come from a boat.
Is that a reference to something?
I don't know why that was the first thing that came out of my head.
Okay.
I don't know. What would you do if you found like a dude just chilling in the ice and then wanted to tell you their life story?
I'm missing the reference here.
That's the beginning of Frankenstein. We were talking about.
Oh, yes. Sorry, we went
it's
through.
All good.
Well, we also talked about
the.
We talked about the terror, and then but my mind was expecting you to bring up the video you just sent me. So my brain was doing backflips, and I was like,
No.
Boat and ice, terror? No, they didn't find someone on the ice that they wanted to talk to.
I don't know.
But
I think you actually mentioned it on the podcast, like when you were going through all those books, and it was cracking me up because as I was trying to put it into Storygraph, they're like, "Hey, your friend reviewed this," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but that's not the reason I'm reading it. I ran out of credits, and these were free."
Yeah, Frankenstein. I just love how much of a crush the guy in the letter clearly has on Victor Frankenstein. He's like, "Oh my god, sis, I have to tell you. Oh my god, there's this like really smart guy, but he's like dying and like he's having a really hard time, but like he's so smart. I think you should meet him one day because like, oh my god, he's so brilliant." And I'm like, just kiss. Just kiss already.
Yeah. He's like, "Man, I wish I had a friend." And then it's like, next letter, "I found a friend on the ice."
And he's like the coolest guy ever. It's like,
I know. It's the sea won't just bring a random dude, but the sea brought a random dude. What am I doing?
Life is pushing daisies. It's all good. Everything's great.
It's like that one song, "Life Could Be a Dream." Just playing all the music. But we're not here to talk about Frankenstein. If we ever do a book, I almost said book TikTok, a book podcast, well, I don't know. I'm enjoying Frankenstein so far. I wouldn't mind giving it another read, but I'm also, like, I haven't technically started it either. So, but yeah. But Hop, speaking about cool things and secrets and communications, do you know that Blandon's character can be seen in the background of episodes?
We have discussed this because we would every episode go, found him.
Yeah. Well, fact 16. Blandon officially got featured in episode 9 in the Traveler's Pig, but in episode 1, 2, and 3, viewers spotted the character picking up anomalies left by Dipper and Maple. Did you notice this? Yes. Well, the first two, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. We noticed a few. We had to have the internet tell us the others. There's another fun fact. Justin Roiland, the co-creator of Rick and Morty, this is the second time he's in this fact page, voiced both Blandon and Rick Sanchez, another proof of their strong friendship between the Hirsch and Roiland. Cool. Anyway, we'll just scroll down and as I try to find the next thing here. But yeah, we're 4 episodes away from
the midpoint.
Yes, which is the end of season 1. But I almost watched the wrong episode today because I opened up on Hulu and they're like, okay, I clicked it and it took me to the next episode. I'm like,
I've had that happen before. Yeah.
I'm like, this isn't the episode like I left on, because I think it's just because I already watched it on Hulu and it looking at the episodes, it's like, you've already watched this episode, and so when I go back to watch the episode, it's like, oh, you already finished this, so let's go to the next one. It's like, no. And so I was really confused because I remember seeing it on the wiki of like, oh, okay, this is the one, and then I was like, hold up, and I had to go and I was like, those tricky devils. But yeah, we have another fun episode. At least we think it's fun. I accidentally hit Twitter and someone's talking about Morbius. Something that I heard that wasn't as fun. Let's go back to Gravity Falls. There we go.
Morbid time. Sorry.
It's Morbid time.
I forgot that we had plans to go to movies tonight, and someone was messaging like, I got my tickets at this seat. I was like, oh, it'll take me like 2 seconds to get the seats next to them. So that's done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had people ask me if I wanted to watch a movie, and then I realized I never responded.
Nice.
It was in a group chat, and they're like, we want to find out a date. And I'm like, I kind of want to watch said movie, but I also put out a hard stance on a certain thing, which I'm like, do I really care what people think? No. But I also really don't want to go to the movies.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's just our D&D group. Strider was like, oh, would it be fun if our D&D group went to watch a D&D movie? I was like, oh, yeah, that's nice. There's only one person in the group that isn't within the area because we play on Roll20. So yeah, a good amount of us said that we'd be able to go today. So, okay, now I'm back in Gravity Falls headspace. Blend and blend in.
I should also mute my phone. You reminded me of that.
Voiced by a guy who was not found innocent in his case. The case was thrown out because someone said to me, they were like, did you know he was acquitted? I'm like, no, don't use that word. The case was thrown out because of a lack of evidence. So that doesn't mean he wasn't guilty.
Look, I've been watching Extraordinary Attorney Woo, and I am now at least 5 episodes in of understanding Korean law. And so
I was going to take a moment. I was like, that's not the same law system.
But I found out if you make a good argument, and some of the time, if the episode's written in your favor, it will go well.
If it's written in your favor.
I'll say, I never watched one of those K-drama shows, and this is like my first time watching it. I think I know I've said this multiple times to people, but I'm like, I can understand why people like this. And I think that's a testament of how enjoyable this show is because, well, Hop will know, I don't really watch anything. And without being prompted or told, I think I'm on episode 6 out of 16. So I'm like,
look at you.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's and now I'm not slightly conflicted, but I've heard that they're like season 2's coming out, and I'm like, well, I'm never watching that.
For your own set of rules.
There is no really set of rules. It's just I don't know why my brain does this. I'm just like, okay, like it should have been done in one season. There you go.
All right,
but
so
we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about some carpets. I'm redesigning nothing that you guys can see. Hey, there's candy over there. So
you live alone.
Yeah, I might have forgot I put it there. I was supposed to go to my church.
All right, so dice time.
Yeah.
We'll see how well my voice holds
really
out.
Low.
D20. Oh, of the video viewers, you guys can see what I rolled.
Oh well, I rolled a 7 times 2, 14, baby. Oh man, that just quick side story. It also reminded me of we played more Shadow of the Demon Lord. Oh yeah, the book's right here. It's a real fun cover. Wow. Big chunky boy.
Oh, speaking of RPGs, before I forget, I think there's only. Oh no! By the time of recording this, the thing will be over. But
that reminded me. I forgot to do that.
I picked it up. I think it was yesterday.
Let's see. Oh, they're only a couple dollars away, and by a couple dollars, about 90. Not it. The amount of money they're raising.
97% of their goal.
There we go. Oh yeah, there's that number. Still pretty good there. Yeah, it's about a week. Oh yeah, by the time this comes out,
yeah,
this will definitely be done.
So anyone who's curious about what I'm bringing up, we play a lot of role-playing games, and there's all styles of role-playing games, and not unfortunately, but a lot of the bigger role-playing games that you've probably heard of, like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, a lot of the audience is And a lot of the writers that have the biggest names are straight and cis. So, but there's always room for more voices in RPGs, and there is a bundle that's tabletop RPGs for trans rights, and there is a lot of diversity and representation in these RPGs. Let's see, what are some of the ones? Visigoths versus Molgoths, and the immediate description is there are a lot of bisexuals. There's thirsty sword lesbians for telling queer stories with friends. I'm throwing these out there so that if anyone wants to pick them up, because the bundle will have expired by the time this episode comes up.
I don't remember how many episodes ahead we are now. I think it's later in April.
Yeah.
Well, obviously later in April. Let's see. I can find one of these. I'm just like scrolling through. There's like ones I'm like, what is this? The Bagel Game. A game about bagels and the multiverse. Okay. They look like Cheerios.
Oh, this looks like fun. Badger and Coyote Duet RPG, an asymmetrical GM list duet role-playing game. Maybe I'll look into that with Strider. Sorry. But yeah, so this one, the bundle funds trying to... What is the group name? Because it's Florida has been passing a lot of legislation, and Zebra Youth is a network of organizations which provides services to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and all youth ages 13 to 24. And it's just young people facing homelessness, bullying, isolation from their families, and such. And there's also the Trans Inclusive Group that it's helping fund, which is a nonprofit that advocates to protect and defend equality of all transgender and LGBTQ plus individuals in South Florida. Blah. And yesterday was Trans Visibility Day. There we go. Now
at the time of this recording.
At the time of this recording. I was gonna say, and that
April
has.
Fools.
I was gonna say, and that has dated when we recorded this.
That's okay. It's one of my favorite things of dating recording sessions to much disappointment to some of my players. They're like, no, you can't break the illusion. Because we were, for the Call of Cthulhu podcast, we recorded that like super early, and like I was like, so what you guys get for Prime Day? And like, because we did a bulk recording, I complained about Prime Day for like 3 episodes. But then the thing came out in like October, November, which Prime Day was like 5 months ago.
So long ago. Yeah.
Let's see. I wanted to bring up the game that was on this list as I'm scrolling through, and the only one, because I'm just scrolling and like not really reading anything. Oh, well, that one had cool art. This is My Weird Little Giant, a pamphlet supplement to generate a weird fantasy giants, big, small, and big. So it's not just games; it's also supplements and other stuff.
Yeah, I think I saw D&D supplements. I also gave $10 to it. Oh yeah, and then there's Call of Cthulhu supplements as well.
Yeah, I remember that's why you sent it to me. The Gambler, a suave, scheming risk taker. I don't know what that's for, but anyway.
Yeah, so we got our idea. Oh my gosh, sorry. I scrolled down far enough that there's a supplement to make a Starstruck fan playbook for thirsty sword lesbians, the Admirer playbook. I have to look into what that's about. Anyway, so back to Gravity Falls. You get stuck with talking about the episode this week, which is perfect for my voice and how back and forth it is.
There's also a game here called... Okay, I don't know. Well, not that it was bad to say. It was just like I was about to say one, and then my brain got distracted by another game, and then my brain got distracted by another game, and then another game. Like, what's so cool about Vampire Vigilantes? Well, you answered your own question. So moving forward... Oh my goodness, it reminds me of this video I saw. This guy, he's just like kind of... like he's like a security guard or something. This guy's like, dude, you have like 27 weapons. He's like, yeah, I do. And he's just like, prove it. And he just starts pulling out swords and knives and all this stuff. And like, it's just like all the comments like, dude, this guy went and watched Blade once, and then yes, this is me.
This is my personality now.
Yeah, and like the video ends with him just pulling out like scoped Magnum that I've only seen in Resident Evil. And I'm like, I didn't know that was a real thing.
I don't know why you would scope something like that.
I don't know. I think some people do it for hunting, but I don't know. I don't know enough about that. But we're not here. We're not a gun podcast. We're, at least for another 24 episodes, we are a Gravity Falls podcast. Excuse me. So, this episode opens up. By the way, this episode is Carpet Diem. That is the name of the episode, if you guys are wondering. Episode 16 of Season 1. And we open up with an eyeball just rolling across the floor into a cup because it's a ball. As Dipper and Mabel are playing, as they call it, attic stuff mini golf. Where, I don't know if have you ever done that with your, I always get mixed up on like the age gap of your brothers and sisters, or brother and sister.
10 years, so no.
Okay. No, yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think if me and my brothers have ever did this. I don't think we did this specifically of like doing mini golf, but it's like I don't know, we did play with like Kinects and Legos and stuff. But anyway, these guys, Mabel and Dipper are just having a grand old time playing inside mini golf, where they kind of set up. Is this a hint to a later location?
Which bit?
The mini golf, because don't they go to a mini golf area that is like around the world?
In season 2, I can't recall if the setup is the same off the top of my head, but they do go on that family vacation and go to the golf course. That's what you're thinking of, right? Yeah,
where certain things come to life. Right? That's the same show, right?
I'm pretty sure it is, where Dipper tries to get a smoochy smooch because he's trying to get numbers.
I think so. I don't know. It's been a while. I can't remember. We'll pin that, and we'll see if it comes up later.
It would be the episode where they go to that upside down house, right? Like, I think is it
the upside down house? I thought there was an episode where they go to a golf course and the balls come to life. And they got like, I thought that was.
It sounds right. It sounds like this show, but I don't know why I can't remember either.
I don't know.
We'll go back when we get to that episode. We'll be like, oh, this is the episode we were talking about.
I think it's in season 2 because whatever her name, rich blonde girl, like she becomes much more of a character, and like they get locked in there or something, or it's like it's a bet between her and Mabel to do this.
Oh, yeah. They have Mabel befriends is it the balls, or is it the people that live in the golf course that move the balls around for them? And
I think the balls are alive.
Okay, because I thought, but yeah, I remember what you're talking about, because Mabel makes a deal saying that if you guys can make sure that I win, then I'll blah, blah, blah. And then Mabel doesn't follow through, and then it causes a revolt or something.
Yeah, so I don't know. I slightly remember that golf course in season 2 being like all these like world monuments they have to go through.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the same thing, like where it's like kind of homemade world monuments. But anyway, they go do that. And Dipper, he's like, okay, my turn, and hits the ball way too hard, bounces all the way around the screen, goes out the window, and hits Grunkle Stan, where he's just like, my head, it hit me right in the head.
And he's Stan points.
Yep. And they're like, is that legal? And everyone's like, oh no.
Waddles is eating the scorecard.
Mm-hmm. So they're like, okay, this is cool. Kind of joke around, and Mabel's like, well, I gotta go. And there's like, I gotta go hang out with Candy and Grenda tonight. And he's like, oh, come on, you can't leave mid-game. And she's talking about like all the like these she's like, no, my friends are coming to me. And then Dipper's like, wait, no. And then starts like, looks around the room to see sleeping bags, rom-coms, Calling Boys Preteen Edition, the board game. And they're like, you're not having a, and everyone, the door opens up as Candy and Grenda scream, sleepover, and Dipper screams in horror, and we go to the theme song. We come back, as we come back, it's just like, it's showing Mabel, Grenda, and Candy kind of just talking. It kind of cuts to the middle of the night where they're just like, where Mabel's like, how much do you like boys? And Grenda's like, the way she says, so much, it reminds me of, I don't know if you ever watched Homestar Runner.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Teen Girl Squad.
The ugly one.
The ugly one. And, yeah. Just, oh man, so good. So, it is. All right, guys, if you want a piece of what created millennial humor, go and just look up Homestar Runner. I don't know if the website still exists, but look up Teen Girl Squad on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened to the website after Flash expired.
I think the website's still out there. I think they updated it, but it's just like, it came out of the perfect time when there really wasn't a whole lot of like social media sites, and like YouTube really wasn't a thing. It's like there wasn't like these areas of mass sharing, it like where people came together. It was like its own thing. And so like, because it was one of the first, it was like, oh man, there were so many things. Like, it was just sweet little Flash animations that like these guys made a job. Like, so
yeah, my favorite thing was they did change the homepage pretty frequently, so it did make it worth coming back to, like, you know, showing your friends like, oh, rewatch this with me, and then you're like, the homepage changed, and then eventually it became interactive, and it was like, it was nice.
Yeah, and then like videos when you got to the end, like there was, especially with Strong Bad's emails, like there was words you can click on. That's when I found out you can hit tab and it would highlight different things. So that's, I'm like, I don't want to like search for this.
Look for it.
Yeah, so I would hit tab and find all the different things. But like, I remember my mom not enjoying the. I remember this very clearly, the Heaven homepage, because there's like, I forget what it is. One of the things you want, I think it was Strong Bad emails. Strong Bad like is walking through, yeah, walk through heaven, and like a hole opens up and he falls down. He's like, holy crap. my mom wasn't a big fan of the term holy crap. Religious family. Anyway, completely different thing. That would be a funny podcast. Go through every one of the Strong Bad emails.
That would be good.
Yeah, that's called a whole podcast on its own. But anyway, they're all having a grand old time, just having fun. Grenda like throws a pillow at Candy's head, which I saw that, and as a fellow glasses wearer, I'm like, that had to hurt way more than she let on.
Yeah.
Because it's like, not so much the pillow hitting the face, the fact that it's like you just had plastic and metal shoved into your
all
nose
the way in, yeah,
and face, and it's just like, dude, Candy's a trooper. Anyway, they're all doing that, having fun. You're like, oh, this is cute, and then you turn over as Dipper is like convulsing in the corner, just like, no, let me go. And
he's trying to cover his ears and everything, and he just can't get quiet or peace.
Yeah. As he says, Mabel, do you think you can do this somewhere else? You are laughing at frequencies only dogs should hear. And they're like, should we give him a makeover? And Dipper screams, and then kind of grabs a blanket and pillow and runs out. As he runs into Seuss, which it's like
his break room.
Yeah, but it's like, how does Seuss ever go home in season 1? But he's there, and he's just like, hey, can I stay in your break room tonight? And he's like, oh yeah, of course, dude. And opens up, and it's not even the size of a closet. He's
no, he does not fit in there.
Yeah, well, no, he does. He's like, you just have to make your body go like one of those video game block puzzles or puzzle blocks. And then goes beep, boop, boop, beep as he gets in there, he gets position. And he's like, the trick is to hold perfectly still as steam is like pouring out, like burning his arm. He's like, shh, wait. And then it's just constant him, like, as Dipper begins to walk away, you just hear Seuss like, just like, ow, wait. And the last time, oh, that actually felt good that time. And it's like, okay. And so Seuss goes out, not Seuss, sorry, Dipper finds a place underneath the stars, like, this is great, wakes up to a wolf eating his leg. And he's like, oh no, freaking out for good reason. He's like, maybe I should go back up to my room. Doesn't say, looks up at his room, and then just looks up to see Mabel, Candy, and Grenda having a time of their life, saying la la Disco Girl. I think they're singing the Disco Girls song.
I think so.
Where Dipper's like, you know what? It's still better here.
Yeah, it's still better out here.
And then we flash or cut or move to the day as Mabel wakes up with party girl
all over her forehead.
Yeah, as her hair is cowlicked like an anime character. And well, at least the front part. I always imagine hair always sticks up as if you're an anime protagonist. Yeah, as her and her friends are like all over the place. And they're just like, oh my goodness, that was crazy, as like very clearly you see, whether it's on purpose or on accident, ruining the golf course. They leave, Dipper comes up, and he's like not in a good mood, rightfully so.
He's got like twigs in his hair, he's all scratched up.
He's got a black eye. Mm-hmm. And they're like, do you want some leftover pizza? It's got glitter on it. That is not a selling point. So... but at least the pizza looked happy. And where Dipper's only response is like, Mabel, last night an owl tried to eat my tongue. And Mabel's like, that's great. And so, but yeah, Dipper kind of freaks out and is like, dude, this room is a wreck. Like, it's messy. You're impossible to live with. Mabel's like, no, I'm delightful. And he's like, get prepared to be poked by the fun stick. And it's like, you know what? I can understand Dipper's mindset. If he didn't sleep all night and then all of a sudden you have hyperactive sugar twin just like, let's have fun, because I actually got some sort of sleep, and so they
this is when he notices the golf course, right?
Yeah, he notices the golf course, and he's even more frustrated, to where he's like, you're impossible to live with. And he's like, we should set some ground rules. Let's see, the first ground, what was it? Oh yeah, he's like, no sleepovers. And Mabel's like, what? Well, if I can't have sleepovers, you can't keep me up with your summer reading. And he's just like, how does that keep you up? To where we flash back to some unknown time as he's sitting there with a book. Ooh, interesting. But who stole those capers all while doing this?
Do I have a pen? I don't think I have a pen.
I don't know.
It's not coming through your mic, no.
Well, it's on my recording. I can see all the little plicky plocks.
Oh, so Zoom said that. No clickety clack for me.
Well, it's the same thing with the when apparently I was dying and coughing in one of the episodes, and you're like, I didn't notice you were doing that. But yeah, so he's clicking his pen like crazy. And Mabel is doing the same thing that Dipper was with the sleepover. Anyway, moving forward, they start picking at different things. Like Mabel complains that Dipper doesn't wash his clothes. Dipper doesn't.
He's too busy.
Yeah,
he's a busy guy.
I don't understand that, but anyway. It reminds me of a tweet I saw where it's like, there's so many of you guys that like aren't doing basic hygiene things because you're claiming it. It's like, I'm a man, I don't need that. It's like, no, you're gross. and I'm like, I'll admit, I know some of these things. Some of these other things, I'm like, I have no clue what that is. But we're not here to pick that up. Yeah, and then Dipper like calls out her braces. And yeah, I don't know why Mabel starts meowing because I saw that, and then and they're like, okay, maybe we shouldn't share a room anymore, and Mabel's like, well, yeah, maybe we shouldn't, and so they go that, and then they go talk to Grunkle Stan, where Mabel's like about moving rooms, and Mabel's last line is like, yeah, he's a reasonable guy. So cutting to a great scene as Stan yells, fight, 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 as he changes the channel of two. Oh, sorry. It starts off with two guys pushing each other, and he's like, fight, fight, fight. Changes the channel to two deer fighting each other, and he's like, fight, fight, fight. Changes the channel again to these two babies just kind of sitting there, and he's like, and then they poke one with a stick as they all start like fighting
Slapping,
each other. Sorry, no, he starts yelling fight, fight, fight at the babies, and then it's like baby fights as it pokes with the stick, and these babies start fighting. He's like, yeah. He's like, TV knows what I want. And then that's when they come down, and Dipper is like, Stan went in different rooms, and it's like, I want a pair of magic money pants, but that's not gonna happen. And Mabel's like, magic money pants. So they try to figure it out, and he's like, look, do you think there's some secret hidden room in this shack? And then Crash Sue's like, dude, I found some sort of secret hidden room in the shack. I was like, well, that's convenient.
Leave it up to Seuss.
Yep. Yeah, so they open up the door, and they're like, wow, there's so many secrets, and there's inside this room there is a calendar. I think it was 1984. Is that what it?
I think that's the year, and then it's has circled July 4th. Yeah,
July 4th, 1984. There's a pair of glasses that Stan picks up. I think we can save that for when it comes up later. If I, yeah, Stan's like in a weird, like, he opens it up and it's like he's not as normal. Like, what is going on? Don't go in here. He's just like
pretty quiet.
Yeah. As it's like, I'll admit, the first time I watched it, I didn't notice him pick up the glasses, and this time I was like, oh. But intriguing. Put a pin in that for
a later date.
Laters. So yeah, he does that. But yeah, like the biggest thing in this carpet is that like Dipper, like he goes up, he's like, whoa, look, and they're like kind of doing this, and there's this giant shag carpet in the middle, and he's like, Experiment 78, and he's like, Stan, what is this place? And he's like, I don't know, just another room I gotta clean now. And Mabel starts making snow angels in the carpet and all this other stuff. Yeah, it's like, she's like, this carpet is amazing. He's like, yeah, if you're into things that are terrible. Yeah, so that's when they see the key, and Dipper's like, oh, problem solved, I'll move in here. And then Mabel's like, what? How come you automatically get it? To where Stan is like, wait a second, and he's like, so you both want the room, and I guess I'll give it to whoever, which one of you like more, as he unties his shoe. Oh no,
my shoe is untied.
As they both start attacking each other to tie Stan's shoe, and Stan's like, yes, to the kitchen, fight, fight, fight. As Seuss, they get up to follow him. Seuss, like, Seuss is pretty much like Goofy in Kingdom Hearts. He's like, they are like, he's both like, for the most part, kind of airhead characters, but then in Kingdom Hearts, Goofy is kind of how Seuss gets every once in a while, where they're just like, whoa, hold up, voice of reason right here, and it's like, where was this the whole time? But Seuss is like, hey guys, this room's a little creepy, the attic's a pretty good space, maybe you should appreciate what you got. And then they're like, nah, no. Whatever, dude. And he's like, what do I know? And he starts cleaning it up. As it shows that the carpet is crackling with electricity. I think it was it doing that when Mabel was doing
I don't think
Snow Angels?
I don't recall it starting then.
Yeah. It doesn't say it in the transcript, but anyway, this starts a competition between Dipper and Mabel to impress Grunkle Stan to acquire the key, and Dipper's already losing as he's like as
trying too hard.
Yeah, as he gets suck up points, and he's like minus 15 points for trying too hard. And then Mabel's like, good decision, Uncle Stan. Trying way too hard.
Plus
50
points.
suck up. Yeah, plus 50 suck up points. I think Stan has a favorite twin. Anyway.
What makes you say that?
So where Stan's like, so who wants to go retile the roof in searing 105-degree heat? And it's like, that's terrible. I haven't retiled, but I've reshingled small roofs, and that's not fun. So they both clamor to do that, and then it's kind of like a little montage of different tasks. Like it cuts to them cutting the lawn, where Dipper's like, oh my goodness, and Stan's like, you're phoning it in, and then
He has his lemonade too.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and doesn't he? Oh yeah, he gives 10 points to the lemonade
For
like,
being so nice.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, that's refreshing. 10 suck up points for this lemonade, pretending to be the lemonade.
I don't know.
Thank you, Stan. Oh, 10 more points for 10 more for politeness. Oh, and so sweet. So anyway, they go inside, and they're in the room, kind of cleaning a little bit, and they kind of, and we're. Dipper's just like, man, is this really worth it? And it was like, yeah, we're gonna do this. I was like, don't get too comfortable. I just made Stan an omelet shaped like his own face, as Stan is looking at his omelet.
I have behold true beauty.
Yeah. To where Dipper and Mabel start fighting as static electricity starts like building up, and they get more and more frustrated as they kind of.
Yeah,
she points at him. Oh,
a lot of the electricity gets built up because Dipper took his like shoes off, and he has his socks, and he's like rubbing him through the carpet as fast as he can when Mabel confronts him.
Yeah. And so like Mabel kind of says stretch out her hand, like kind of points, and then Dipper points or goes to slap her hand, to where lightning. This is a word I always have problem pronouncing. Electrocuting. Mabel, and like this kind of static electricity, this glow, very anime explosion, but not really a destruction explosion. As they both scream, and they have switched bodies.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, it's a fun thing where Mabel's like, Dipper, why are you wearing my clothes in my face? Am I in your body? And Dipper's like, I'm in your body? To where I think it is a very appropriate reaction that none of the other people do that interact with this carpet later. Mabel screams. Dipper screams. Mabel screams. Dipper screams. Mabel throws up in the bathroom toilet. It's like, man.
And then I like the part where Mabel and Dipper's body starts punching herself or himself in the gut, going, "Get out! Get out!"
Yes. And Dipper runs to the mirror and is just like
pulling their hair
screaming.
out. Yeah.
Dipper's like, this isn't happening. And Mabel, her shadow is seen on the wall. She screams as they take it in and are looking at each other in the mirror and are like, great, this is what we need. And so it's like a problem that could have been very easily solved. They could have swapped back right now, until they both realize, like, they found out that Dipper finds out that it's the carpet and puts it together as he starts clicking his pen again. And he's like, static electricity, maybe we can switch back. And then he's like, oh man, I'm totally going to... Mabel's like, yeah, I'm ready to switch back. You're totally going to lose this contest. And that's where Dipper's like, unless I sabotage you. And you're like, wait, what? And so the contest changes from actually completing to sabotaging each other's chances to win. They run out, and Stan is like, man, these cannibals are onto something. I taste delicious. And they come out, and they just start doing like all these like bad things to make them look bad. Dipper offers Stan a sandwich made out of rocks.
He's like, candy rocks?
Regular rocks.
He's like, keep this up, kid, and you'll start losing points.
And then Dipper's like, I mean, darn. And then as Mabel comes out as Dipper, saying, Uncle Stan, your face looks like a butt. What? And
starts breaking things, dancing and just throwing stuff.
Yeah, as Dipper in Mabel's body pours he's like, Mabel's gone bananas, zing, zow, wow, and pours a box of cereal over her head. And he's like, well, Stan's like, this is getting weird, which, it's like a normal adult response for once. As he leaves and they go and do that. We kind of cut back to the room as Waddles is kind of lying in the carpet as Seuss is vacuuming nearby, and Seuss is like, Waddles, we got it good, bro. I mean, no worries. You got no worries. I mean, nobody thinks it's cute when I lie naked in the living room floor. I wish I could be a pig. As he rubs Waddles' head as the swap happens with them, as Seuss is like, man, I should start wishing out loud more often. Is that a corn on the cob that I spy?
The human eyes on Waddles is very scary, because it goes from just Waddles, like Waddles has the little dots for eyes, and suddenly open wide eyes, human eyes, and I was like, oh, I don't like that.
I guess that is a good thing, because like Mabel and Dipper, since they're twins, they like have the same facial features, and like so like we don't really see it at that point, but it's like, so that way the viewer knows who's in whose body. It takes their face and swaps it on to the other person, like whoever they swap with.
Yeah, you'll notice a lot of Dipper. I guess I'm jumping ahead, but I like how they make sure to let you know Dipper's in a body, because there's a very telling feature that they add to the face when it's Dipper.
So yeah, so they're like, so anyway, Waddles, now in a human body, looks around confused, rightfully so. It's like, as he's in Seuss's body, tries to walk to the door, hits the door 3 times before walking out, finally gets into the gift shop area of the house, and is looking at the vending machine, licking the glass as he goes through and makes it to the post card stand as Wendy walks in. Hey, Seuss, what's up? Have you seen mine? And then looks at Waddles and Seuss's body as Waddles is chewing on a t-shirt in Seuss's body, as it's just this dead stare. And when he's like, I'll come back later.
Yeah,
So we were talking about body horror beforehand, and this is this would definitely be a horror in something else. It's just like dead pig eyes just staring back at people. So anyway, we kind of go back to Dipper as running around with Mabel as he's like, you're toast, Grunkle's gonna come back, I have more terrible things to do, as he crashes into Grenda, and Grenda and Candy are over again, and they're like, yeah, another sleepover, and he's like, no, and Mabel's like, wait, let me in, because like, this is what we do for fun, as Dipper is not having any of it. And Mabel in Dipper's body is like, wait, can I talk to my sister? And Grenna's like, no,
boys allowed.
Yeah. And so Dipper is like grudgingly not wanting to be part of it, as we read a little bit. It's like, look, guys, I'm not in a Dipper's like, I'm not in a sleepover mood right now. I got my irrational girl mood swings going right now, you know? Don't you have one of those? And he's like, and Grenda's like, come on, my mom's age inappropriate romance novels aren't going to read themselves. Ooh, the Wolfman's bare chest. And Mabel outside peeking through the keyhole's just like, ooh. and
enjoying
like,
this storytelling as Dipper and Mabel's body is like, oh god, make it stop.
Yeah, so they start Dipper's like, nah, probably I should. And they're like, come on, you know you love it. My name is Gerald. I am a werewolf, a creature of night, but I'm also a creature of passion. And Dipper's just like, oh, no. And Mabel's like, Gerald's so fierce. As Stan's like, what's going on, Dipper? And as Mabel gets scared, like, oh, what? Stan. Oh, man. Stan should probably say this to some characters in anime. Oh, you heard that creepy age where you spy on girls, huh? Gets a time we have a man-to-man talk. The birds and the bees, you know? As Mabel's just like, as we cut to... There's a lot of cutting in this episode.
Yeah.
As Stan throws a book called Why Am I Sweaty on his desk. And Mabel's like, I shouldn't. And he's like, no way out of it.
The birds and the bees.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah. It all begins with this fella, the pituitary. Oh man, I cannot pronounce words.
Pituitary gland.
Thank you. The pituitary. Still can't pronounce it after you said it. What Hop just said, gland, and he's like, he may be little, but he has big plans. As Mabel screams. So while all that's going on, because I'm pretty sure that's something Disney wouldn't want on their on their products or in any of their shows. We cut to Seuss in Waddle's body, just like on as he puts it, a frolicking adventures. What frolicking adventures I'll stumble into, and he finds a mud puddle, and he's like, "Do I dare live out this cliche?" And then jumps in the mud puddle and just like having the time of his life. As Old Man McGucket shows up, and for some reason, like McGucket, wow, like just keeps talking to himself, and pretty much. McGucket is like pulls a knife and fork out of his beard, and he's like, "Free meal." As Seuss is like, "No, don't eat me. I'm a man trapped in a pig's body." As his answer is, "That's what they all say," which brings up other questions that aren't answered in this episode or possibly ever. So Seuss like runs away, and he runs around Deputy Derlin and Sheriff Bubs, and he's just like, "Help, police!" and Derlin's just, was that a bearded witch chasing a talking pig? Where Blubs is like, my horoscope came true.
Read mine.
He's like, what are you, a Gemini?
How did you know?
Of course I knew. He like holds his hand and then cuts away again. As
they're so cute.
Stan closes the book. Why am I sweaty? As Mabel is traumatized and whispers, goodbye childhood. And Stan's like, now you know where babies come from. So that's where Stan's like, you know what, I find you more likable than usual today. Maybe you can win it after the game after all. And where Mabel's like, no, you should give it to Mabel, you big jerk. And Stan's just like, what did you say? Where Mabel doubles Stan's like, oh, shut up, old man, you're fat, dumb, and you're a dummy, and take that. And lightly punches Stan in the arm, and Stan gets all mad. He's like, finally standing up to me, huh? It's like, I made up my mind, and gives Mabel in Dipper's body the key, and he's just like, you win. And he's just like shh, you had me at shut up, old man. As Mabel's like, no.
Yeah, for finally standing up to him.
Mm-hmm. Which is something that comes up pretty soon. That theme.
Is it not in season 2 that it first comes up? I thought it was.
No, I think it's the season where we meet the best character in the show.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a forever DM. What are you talking about? So yeah, so Mabel's a little heartbroken as we cut to Grenda finishing the Wolfman's bare chest. As Grenda's like, and Dipper's like, oh, thank goodness. And Grenda's like, now time for the
38 sequels.
Yeah, 38 sequels. It's fun to say it in closed intervals. Now it's time for 30. Well, now I'm just doing strong bad. Yeah, now for the 38 sequels. As Dipper's also like, no. And then we cut to McGucket cornering Seuss in an alleyway. He's like, now I'm gonna make you into bacon. As Seuss is like, cut, and he's like, hey, that sounds pretty good. I mean, no. So I assume this is where, if it was on TV, where a commercial break would be, as we come back to Grenda rolling some dice as Grenda, Candy, and Dipper in Mabel's body are playing Calling All Boys Preteen Edition. As the phone in the middle rings, and it's like, Grenda's like, it's him, my dream date. Picks up, hello? As the robotic voice, hello, baby, this is Kevin. Beach house. Wait,
Beach house has room for two.
And as Candy's like, Kevin has the voice of a robot. Don't ruin this for me, Candy. And they look up. It's like, your turn, Mabel. As Mabel, Dipper in Mabel's body ran away, and still trying to win. That's when Mabel lets him know, like, hey, you want the key? And Dipper's like, haha. And then, like, that's right. Yeah, he's like, goes to cheer and his leg lifts up in the air. And then when he realizes, he's like, you get back down there. Just, and it's like, okay, let's switch bodies so I can start moving in. And Mabel's like, wait, you can't have the room if you can't get in. And so locks her in a room, or locks herself in the room to where he's like, well, how am I gonna get in there? Has the idea of bringing Grenda and Candy in to give his own body a makeover, and as they're like, yeah, let's do that. Which I think this Waddles cut is the creepiest Waddles cut. As like Waddles is like just walking around the gift shop, knocking stuff over, lays in the sun as he starts eating tissues. And Stan's like, oh, good, Seuss. As it's just like, I don't even know if like music plays here. If it is, it's like
I think it's silent.
Yeah, it's like if it is, it's a real quiet minor key. As like Stan just dead eyes, or not Waddles just dead eyes Stan, and he's just like, got a second, and pretty much Stan's like, hey, I got to cut your pay. As Waddles
because something economy, whatever. Yeah.
Waddles raises his hand and just puts it on Stan's nose, just dead palming him in the eye, or dead palming, just
I'm breathing heavy.
Yeah, and like kind of like my own audio when I don't clean when I forgot there's noise gates I can put on. As Stan's like, is this some sort of negotiating tactic? Because it's not gonna work. As Waddles just breathes and snorting loudly, and he's just like, fine, I was lying, I'll give you a raise, just never do that again. Nightmares.
Runs out.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like me reading these like classic horrors. It felt like it could have been something right out of there. And I'm like, you know what, if I was in Stan's shoes and Seuss did that, just dead eyes looking right at me, I'm like, no, I would.
I get it. Yeah.
As we meet a new character, Bandana Lady comes in. Can you help me? I'm looking for directions. As Waddles is like, oh, the outside, and runs.
Because she leaves the door open.
Yeah. As her name is Bandana Lady. You'll show me the way? Oh, such a gentleman.
And follows him out.
Yeah. So now we cut to Mabel writing a sign where it's like, no boys, no girls, no boys, like all kind of crossed out aloud. And so it just says no allowed. And Candy and Grenda knock on the door. Mabel's like, friends, what's up, guys? Forgetting that she's in Dipper's body, as Dipper in Mabel's body like lurks behind and just like, yes. As they go in, hold Mabel, Dipper's body's down, force a makeover. Dipper goes to switch bodies and does that, where Candy and Greta are just like, what the heck just happened? And like they explain it, as Candy's like, really? And she goes and switches bodies with Dipper, and Dipper's like, no, stop that. And they all begin to start switching bodies as Waddles, it kind of becomes a free-for-all. And then like finally they stop doing that, and they kind of try to all swap back, and they're like, we did it. And then McGucket and Seuss comes in and starts everybody starts switching the body, as Grunkle Stan is like watching, like holding the glasses, looking at them like in memory. Kind of cuts to him as we just see, tonight on Baby Fights, tension rise between Madison and Avery, Baby Fights headquarters. As the subtitles of I didn't come here to make friends. As there's just noises and like screaming coming from the room. He's like, I ain't time for this, and just turns up the volume. And then it shows pretty much everybody. So in this room we have Mabel, Dipper, Grenda, Candy, McGucket, Seuss, Sheriff Blubbs, and Derlin.
Eventually, because
they come in a little bit later.
Yeah, the deputies come in because they say they got an excessive giggling complaint.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's running around and everything's getting switched. The thing that I was going to say, during this scene, you can see where, for Dipper, whenever he takes over somebody's body, they give him the eye bags.
Yes, yeah. Which it's like one of those features like I never realized he had until it's like on another person's face.
But yes, and then I love the whole bit of Durland and Blubs freaking out about what was happening.
Yeah, and they're like, this wasn't in my horoscope. My horoscope didn't say anything about this.
And Candy and Grenda going, you want to go do cop things? Essentially.
Yeah, and what was it? I think the first line, which made me laugh when Grenda gets put in McGucket's body. He's like, "Cool." She's
I'm
like,
Santa.
"Cool, I'm Santa Claus." And McGucket's like, "Woohoo!"
I got my innocence back.
Yeah, in Candy's body. And then as Dipper's like, "Well, I guess I'm a pig now," and just starts eating the apple. Core. Yeah. So this goes on for a little while, and then Mabel and Dipper, I think they get their bodies back.
Eventually, everybody ends up back to normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I think Mabel and Dipper get their bodies back, and then everyone is still like switching back and forth because they run out with the key, and they're like they find out neither of them really wanted to move out. They just were getting frustrated with like Mabel constantly bringing her friends over and everything, and Mabel's like. And Dipper's like, yeah, I've been having a hard time. You wouldn't understand. And Mabel's like, I kind of understand. Like, awkward and sweaty, huh? And he's just like,
how did you know?
Yeah, flashback to the book. So anyway, she's like, here, you can have the room. And they're like, oh, thanks. And so they do that. Finally, everyone is switched back to normal. Mabel's like, except for Seuss, who may be a pig permanently, and Sue's like, no, I changed back. At least I think I did. As McGucket comes out of the shadows and just like with a fork and knife, I'll still eat you. As they kind of sent everyone out, and Seuss is like, yeah, I guess being a pig wasn't that great after all. And then kind of it's like, let me get that scratch. That spot you can never reach, and like gives Waddles a scratch as the doorbell rings. And Susie answered, and Bandana's lady's back and was just like, I've been thinking about it. The answer is yes, I will marry you. And he's like, I don't remember anything about that. And he's like, oh, all right.
And they start kissing. Yeah.
Dipper moves into the new spare room where the carpet is now rolled up as Stan's like, okay, what about this? What do you do with this whole thing? He's like, get rid of it. And Stan's like, kind of nervous, like, don't worry, got it. And just like, grabs it and leaves
immediately. And tries to be like, wow, this thing is ugly, as he's walking down the hall with it.
So they do that, and Dipper's like gets him, he's like, my own room, good night, Mabel, as he looks over and she's like, Mabel's not in there, she remembers in the attic. Cuts to Mabel, good night, Dipper, same thing, turns over and is just like, oh. As someone knocks on the door, Mabel answers it, and it's Dipper. He's like, do you want to have a sleepover? As they all smile, they play. They're like, yeah, 4, swings the golf club as Dipper also does that, and the ball
flies through the window, right?
No, Dipper doesn't hit it. It is Mabel hitting the golf ball. That was reading. I was like, wait a second. And as Stan is like, why am I even out here at night? and they laugh. Cuts the credits as we come back up. And it's just like, so what are you going to do to that new room? He's like, I gave it to Seuss to replace that horrible break room he has. Do you know what the deal with that lady is? And they shrug, and it just shows them sitting on the couch in the new room as Dana's like, I just don't think I can do this anymore. You seem so different. And Seuss like,
look, dude.
I'm trying to catch up a little bit here. It was in a pig's body for most of the day. Oh, what's going on? The lady looks at him and is like, can we kiss again? Is that an option?
And she just stares.
And as the Disney logo appears, it replays the burn as he's like, ow, wait. So that was pretty much the episode. Actually, not pretty much, it was the episode. There's a lot of fun things in this.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's between this episode and the next episode, I'm just checking. We have like it seems like a lot more Mabel centered episodes. At least the next 2. where like she's kind of like I look at Mabel as the same as how Greg was in Over the Garden Wall. I can't remember the term where it's like Greg was also a main character. I can't remember the term. I know we mentioned it when we were doing Over the Garden Wall, but yeah, it like they're both that, but it's like I think just because Dipper, like he researches more of the weird thing, normally kind of talks a lot more about the stuff, especially in kind of later episodes.
Oh, in like a technical way, yeah.
Yeah, and so like he kind of needs to be there to explain for the audience a little bit like what's happening. But like Mabel, I can't remember what it is because like they're kind of the same as like I forgot his name. The older brother in
Wirt.
Wirt. And Greg, how they're both
dynamic
the main characters. Yeah. Like,
but I was gonna say before we get lost in a tangent, only because that is what we are prone to do.
You got like 2 minutes. So, let's see. Is there series continuity that we can bring up? Let's see. Top Hat Waddles of War as the judge, maybe the same one. Wait, hold on. Am I in the right episode?
I see that too.
Yeah, I was. I don't know.
Is this wrong? Because this picture.
The pictures, it is very related to the glasses.
Yeah, that's related to the glasses. I don't know what the
Top Hat thing was.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Mabel awakens from her slum party with several times movie on her face, referencing a future appearance to the next episode, literally. The eyeglasses is something that we will talk about later.
When it comes up. They like bringing up the water tower, which is fine. And they like bringing up the cloning copy machine. Yeah. Also okay.
Trying to think if there's looking at it as any fun things here. Okay, interesting. This trivia thing in the beginning of the episode when they're playing the attic stuff. Mini golf, Dipper hits the artificial eye with his club. The eye proceeds to bounce around the room and crash through the window. The window is the shape of a different character that comes in there, and the eye crashes through the exact center.
Oh, I scroll down and I see that. Yes.
Yeah. The Eye of Providence, which is often associated with Freemasonry. That's not in the story. That's real world stuff. Also alludes to another character that we'll be meeting in about 3 episodes because I looked it up. The cryptogram is puberty is the greatest mystery of all. Also, go outside and make friends. You can't tell me what to do. But as we said, short on time because I am long-winded whenever I am the one kind of explaining the thing. Let's do who we're most like and favorite. So Hopper, who are you most like?
I'm gonna just put my favorite character this episode was Waddles.
That's a good one.
I have to think more on most like. So who would you put as your favorite?
Oh no, Seuss was pretty funny this time. I don't know. It's like a tie between Seuss and Grunkle Stan for me because they both cracked me up so much. I'm gonna roll a die. Okay. Seuss is 1 word, so odd is Seuss. Grunkle Stan is 2, so it'll be even. I rolled a 12, so Grunkle Stan.
Okay. Easy peasy.
Yep.
When we don't have time to rethink our choices.
Yeah, they both crack me up for different reasons, and it's like, I don't know. I guess looking at it, I think I do like some of the stuff that Grunkle Stan alludes to. I guess we'll find out later.
You do get another side of him this episode, which is kind of nice to see. So when it comes to most like, I'm struggling because this was a pretty chaotic episode. None of the situations are anything where I can personally feel like I know what it's like to go through those.
You never had your body switched at a sleepover?
No, I've never had a body swap.
You should try it.
I did used to do
Sleeping.
a lot of. I guess I'm Mabel because I did do growing up. I had a lot of sleepovers with friends where we would talk about boys. The very like young girl experience, which I'm familiar with. So to make it easy, I'll say I was most like Mabel.
I will admit the when I saw them like talking about like both the twins like talking about the own books they read, I'm like, I see the economy of Hop where she likes the like kind of the storytelling and mystery that Dipper's into, but I also seen her streams
Hot
when she
boys.
used to do that where she's like unattainable werewolf men. Oh my.
Give me.
This is tough. This is a tougher one, just like with the whole the way this episode's set up. Because I don't relate to any of the kids.
That's fair.
Like even growing up, like I had big surprise. I didn't like doing sleepovers. Like I went to them and I had them, but it's just like looking back, and it's like I don't really remember enjoying them, except for the times when we just played video games all night.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't really relate to to Sue's, so I'm gonna put Waddles because I definitely deadpan stared people at work. To where
This is
like,
what's changing and what's happening.
Say it again. Sorry, I heard that. Oh yeah, yeah. The only thing is I haven't put my hand in front of somebody and just breathed heavily. But I pretty much like did the. Are you serious? So
would that make you most like Waddles then? Because it's Waddles and Seuss's body.
yes, that's what I
Okay.
thought I communicated. I'm sorry.
I've also sorry. I got a text from the person. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, I got a text from somebody else, but that's not like relevant to what I was doing, what we were doing. So anyway, Hop's got important things to do, so the way we're gonna cut it there. Yeah. As Hop answers that, I'll do the normal Hop outro. If you like this episode and you think of any of your friends, no matter their intelligence or friendship levels, give them a share. Hey, even tell that weird grandfather that doesn't really know what's going on, hey, you want to listen to a show? And put it on.
Listen to a show talking about a show.
Exactly. We're a show talking about a show and another show. Don't worry, guys. Soon in October, it feels weird to say soon, but we're old, and as the time of travel, as time travels faster with our function of time, space, understanding, that makes no sense. Time is an illusion or whatever. That has nothing to do with what we're saying. But hey, we're gonna go back to movies eventually. But this is the end of the episode. If you liked it, give reviews and all that stuff. I realize I have done a terrible job to check before if we have any. But we
are ahead of time.
Yes. So by the time you're listening to this, remember it's been about a month. So next episode, I will make sure I check.
Eventually,
I realized our next episode won't be recorded for at least 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So, yeah, Easter time is crazy for people that work in the church. But anyway, I don't want to take up more Hop's time because we went past the time she said I gotta be done by then, by 6 minutes. So anyway, bye.